I'm Greg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room. President Obama is making the very rare move of stepping in to endorse a candidate in a local primary race. The commander-in-chief is backing Juliana Stratton over incumbent Ken Dunkin in the race for Illinois state lawmaker. Joining me now to discuss what might be behind this move are Democratic strategist David Mercer, Republican strategist Brad Blakeman. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Thanks.
David, I want to play the radio ad that has President Obama's voice on it and his endorsement that's been airing in Illinois. Take a listen.
30 years ago, I came to Chicago to help strengthen our community. One of the biggest lessons I learned is that follow-through is everything. The people of Chicago deserve leaders who follow through. Juliana Stratton has spent her career serving our community, improving the juvenile justice system, and protecting public safety. Juliana will fight to get guns off our streets and fight for tougher penalties for violent offenders. I'm Barack Obama. I'm asking you to vote for Democrat Juliana Stratton for state representative.
It's also a television ad. David, I mean, this is not a national race. It's a very local contest. It's not the general election. In fact, it's a primary, and it's Dem versus Dem. So what gives here?
What gives is, first, the president is also the titular head of the party. Secondly, if you have the Republican governor endorsing a Democrat, I think the president is feeling compelled that Stratton, who is more aligned with the policies that he has set forth on a national basis, is somebody that he is going to back, level the playing field, if you will. And third is we've seen an erosion, and we have a majority of Republican governors. We've lost several House, state, and House Senate race seats. And the president, at this point, is not sitting by for Republicans to put in a Democrat who votes Republican and lose the supermajority in the House that is obtainable. And that's what he's fighting
Brad,
for.
What I saw here in my reading of this is that Dunkin, on a few issues, dared to reach across the aisle and disagree with his own party, and so his efforts at conciliation and bipartisanship are being punished by the President of the United States.
Yeah, he's taking this personally. And again, the President of the United States is involved in a local election. I mean, what's next? The PTA? I mean, for the President to butt in to a primary is unheard of, especially in a local election. David, come on. The President certainly shows that there's much bigger fish to fry than putting his nose into this. But this is what the President does. How many times has he butted himself in to local issues, and mostly criminal acts that have yet to be adjudicated, and then proved wrong when he butted in the first place. So the President should let the process play out, and the President of the United States, I'm sure, has better things to do, and if he doesn't, then he's not doing his job.
You know, what's also interesting is, David, that a month ago the President was in Springfield. He talked before the General Assembly. He gave a speech there, and he said that reaching political compromise across the aisle, quote, does not make me a sellout to my own party. And then he said, we'll talk later, Dunkin. Dunkin was there. So I guess that principle applies to anyone other than President Obama. Is that the deal?
No, the principle stands when you do it together with your party for the benefit of the American people overall, not when you're undercutting your party, as Dunkin has been doing, and he might as well, to appease those like Brad and other Republicans, just change parties if that's what he wishes to do, in voting with Republicans most of the time. We want compromise and so forth, but we want to do it in unison with each other and
David,
as a party, and not as an individual.
I thought you had a big tent.
We do have a big tent, and we have a big tent for those that want to be part of the Democratic Party and vote with Democrats as such, not be part of the tent and vote Republicans.
Unions, Brad, because in this particular case, Dunkin is not supported by unions. Sure. He doesn't really support them, but for Stratton, it's the other way around.
Right. And that's the double standard, is in one breath the president says you need to be magnanimous, you need to be able to reach across the aisle, and then when somebody does it, you get punished for it. I mean,
yeah, but Republicans are trying to bust up unions, and that's what the president is protecting, is their right at collective bargaining, as they have lost in the state of Wisconsin with Scott Walker, and that's not going to happen again in Illinois, just to be clear.
All right, Brad Blakeman, David Mercer, gentlemen, thanks very much.
Thanks.
For more on this developing story, go to foxnews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.